Hey everyone, I wanted to talk about my beliefs and what I see when it comes to OCD and anxiety recovery, and then chronic fatigue syndrome, fibro, based around functional medicine. Now, the term functional medicine isn't very new, and there's a lot of pros that come from functional medicine, but there can be a lot of cons as well. And I'm going to talk about that and just highlighting the realities of what we see and why it's important to just be aware of how people are speaking to you through the functional medicine terms, and why the psychology based around, that doom loop and death trap of constantly needing more supplements, constantly needing answers and scans can be a big problem, and always trying to figure out what's wrong with you. Before I go any further, please subscribe. Hit that like button down below. Let me know what you think. That direct message from Phil, we get you in very, very quickly. I think one of the things we really value at OCD Recovery is being extremely timely on the responses and getting people booked in all over the world. We work on every corner of the world. It's so cool. I love it. I really love working with OCD Recovery. And the webinars, 8:30 p.m. UK time, as usual. So if you only follow functional medicine doctors and different people in healthcare, I think the most important thing to be aware of is you can easily fall into the trap that there's something wrong with you always. Now, back in the day, I'm going to use a little bit more science in this than I usually would in most videos, because I think people really hold on to that. You just hear people have the way they talk about it. Like, you could just say the neck, but people go, the cervical spine, the low back, lumbar spine. They hold terms. People talk in medicine, in chiropractic and physical therapy, they talk from a high perch, and they look down on people without even knowing they're doing it. People get very mad when I say that. I don't do that. Well, then stop using those terms, because it's not necessary. And the people you're working with don't give a fuck. I just want to know how to get better. So it's so funny when you actually talk about this. And again, I know people are going to be, these are the type of things that people get a lot of pushback on. So again, it's not about agreeing or disagreeing, it's just seeing a different point of view, and we can disagree on things when we're talking about this. So most people don't really need a lot of checkups. Just the reality of life. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with checkups. And some people have, chronic conditions, but what are the stuff that we hear in the functional medicine space? Constant blood work. These are all things I've heard in the last 12 months. I know when you're going to die. Okay? I know when you're going to die. If you don't, you should carry an insulin monitor on you at all times. I have to shut my door because Daisy's going crazy. So this is the fun part about having dogs, right? That stuff used to really bother me, but it's so funny how much better I am at being interrupted. By the way, that's a big pet peeve for people. Low frustration tolerance. Yes, it's annoying, not the end of the world. So you should have an insulin monitor on you. I was at the seminar for my continuing education. This guy was speaking to 400 chiropractors. Everyone should have a monitor on them at all times, checking their blood, checking to see where their insulin levels are, all sorts of no. You need to have all the specific labs. Probably not. You need to cut sugar. You should cut carbs. You should cut fat. You should have low protein. You should have high protein. You should fast. You should be vegan. No. There's benefits in most of this stuff to some degree. I think the best way to live your life is to balance the food that you eat. Sure, primarily eat whole foods, but also enjoy your life, whether you have a sensitivity or not. So let's say you have a dairy sensitivity, okay? I think it's important to realize that you could have a dairy sensitivity and still eat dairy. What's the worst thing that happens? You shit your pants, you have the runs, you're gassy, it's uncomfortable, you're bloated. Dairy's awesome. What if I get stomach cancer? It's irresponsible. You have all the fears based around making the wrong decision. And then the fear of, because what happens is when people talk about functional medicine, you could hear how it's another badge of honor, right? Badge, ADHD. Badge, neurodivergent. Badge, PTSD. Badge, OCD. Badge, functional medicine. And they wear that in such a conditional way. I'm telling you, it's such a sad thing. And again, functional medicine has really helped a lot of people. But if you fall into the trap that there's something always wrong with you, you're going to be in trouble because you're always going to be looking for things to fix. So I'll just tell you how I like to live my life. Okay, I'm 34 years old. Here comes the dogs in the room again. I'm 34 years old. I work out 5 days a week, very heavy resistance training. I hike big mountains, and I do hit cardio once a week. I try to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I try to eat primarily whole foods, but last Friday I went out and had 3 pieces of barbecue chicken avocado ranch pizza. Fire. And an old-fashioned and a peach cider. Not my favorite flavor of cider. That's not a normality. If it became a normality, I would catch it. I'm gonna die, and so are you. Even if the longevity curve makes us live forever or the AI, I don't want to live to 500 years old and live in a bubble. It's a personal choice. It's not the most rational choice, I guess you could say, but I don't see the point in life, primarily from the aspect of hiding from everything. I could hide from everything, live in a bubble like the bubble boy, and accept my life and dislike a lot of it. Because obviously I practice unconditional self-love, other acceptance all day, every day, and working with it all day long. So, but you need to be aware that this is something that many people are doing incorrectly, in my opinion. And they're living in that realm of someone always telling them that there's something wrong with them. They always have to change something. And, you know, supplements, right? Like I was saying, I take no supplements. Does that mean I wouldn't be benefited from taking some supplements? Sure, maybe. I just don't see a need to take them. I'm not saying supplements aren't good for you. You know, third-party tested. I used to say, third-party tested. I'm an evidence-based chiropractor. You know, I would just introduce myself and speak in these terms from this conditional acceptance way. And people don't even realize they're doing that. And that, again, that's the saddest thing about it. So I don't take any supplements. I stopped taking creatine monohydrate because I knew when I was traveling to music festivals and I was taking my creatine with me, I don't want to rely on that anymore. And I don't think about calories at all. If I overeat one meal, so be it. I'll probably gain weight and look like shit when I'm 80 years old anyway if I live that long like we all do. So, and I just enjoy what I have now. I enjoy working out. I enjoy looking good in the mirror when I have my shirt off and I have a pump. But that's just a cool thing when you're at the gym. And that's it. You know, I could lose that, boom, seconds. Many people lose, paralyzed, lose all that. I would have to accept somehow. You know, I'm not saying it would be easy. But, you know, the desperate search for longevity, Moment said this to me one time. He said, there are a few people out there that we all listen to, and they all have great points. The Hubermans of the world, the Jordan Petersons of the world, the Rogans of the world, the longevity people, the functional medicine people. But Moment said, rarely do I meet people who listen to like Rogan every day or the Petersons every. And again, I've read all his books except for the first book, Back in Maps of Meaning. I think has some tremendous material. Huberman would be naive to say he's not intelligent beyond belief in many ways in the neuroscience realm. But most people who follow them are anxious, depressed, compulsive, and borderline hypochondriacs or severe health anxiety to some degree. You know, Huberman made a 1 hour video on why tap water is bad for you. I got way other things to worry about than tap water, my friend. I don't got to worry about solving problems in my business, you know? So, and again, I'm not saying that tap water is the healthiest thing for you, but it's too much. It's too much. Okay. Humans. This is what we do as a species all throughout time, going back and forth. Okay? We have a seesaw 50 years ago. Okay? Smoking on airplanes, smoking in doctor's offices. We have now teetered to the complete other side. This is a pendulum that goes back and forth through, you know, through history, going back thousands of years in different ways, you know, and we're now at the point where everything is dangerous, everything is a problem. And I think that in of itself is the problem. Your belief about wanting to take supplements, your belief about being healthy is not the problem. It's the rigidity on how you hold it. Again, could I be feeling better, per se, if I took supplements? Would I be feeling better if I didn't just drink a coffee at 6 p.m. at night? Sure, but I like it. I'm going to live once, and I'm going to do what I want to do. If I want to go out and have cookies, I'm going out and have a triple chocolate chip cookie. That's how I want to live my life, and I think it's important to have the balance. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. I'm going to make more videos on this topic because so many people ask me about it. And then we'll go from there and see how you guys are doing. I hope to speak to you soon. I'd love to be your coach, and I know Mo and Sam and all this, and we would love to speak to you. So hope to hear from you soon. Have a good one, everyone.